right, class, welcome to English 190 with Miss Caldwell. This is one of my preterm announcements on how to make the best grade possible in my class. Of course, this only applies to my class. I cannot speak for how it applies to other SNHU classes or even other English 190 classes here at SNHU, okay? I'm not going to read the entire announcement because if you wanted to read it, you'd read it. But we are going to go over the highlights real quick. Starting with discussion boards. Now, my understanding of discussion boards is that they take the place of an in-person discussion. In an in-person discussion, I would bring up all these wonderful questions, and we'd have these phenomenal discussions where we would all just kind of tell each other how we research, how we write, and that kind of fun stuff, okay? So if I can understand what you're saying, in the clear communications rubric element, I'm going to hit meets expectation because I'm not worried about grammar, okay? Missing commas, uncapitalized I's, that's fine in a discussion board. In a regular big assignment, that's not going to cut it. But for these discussion boards, I'm going to be a lot more lax because it is an in-person discussion, sort of. If I'm struggling to understand what you're saying, though, because we're missing, or missing the end of sentences, then I'm going to meet, partially meets expectations, okay? I hope that is fair. I think it's fair. I also, if you really want to level up these clear communication rubric elements, though, if you will copy and paste your discussion questions into the text box and answer them, that's what I'm going to level you up to exceeds expectations. You can also use words from the prompts in your answers because that highlights the answer and it also keeps our writing a bit more focused. And please, every prompt should have its own paragraph, okay? But the reason I level these up is because classmates, when they're looking for feedback, if you have those prompts or the words from the prompt, it's going to make it easier for them to find it. It's going to really improve keep your answers more focused. So yeah, I'm going to give you more points for that, okay? So there's an example here in the preterm. Question, what did you connect with in your peers' post? Share what got your attention about their experience with research. And my answer would be, I really connected with how frustrated you were when you realized you were searching the same terms multiple times. I've done this too. So it really caught my attention when you talked about keeping track of the search terms you have already used. This is a great idea to avoid searching the same terms over and over again. And it feels like it's from third grade. I've been doing it since the third grade. But it really helps your writing. Especially, and you can even transfer this into your professional writing. When you're responding to emails, if you use words from their question in your answer, they feel like you're paying attention to them. And it just levels up your writing so much. Okay, and I also want to recommend that when you get responses to your initial post, that you copy and paste those into a separate document so you don't have to always go back to the discussion board and look for your post and then look for the response you're looking for. It's just all in a single document. That really comes in handy when we're doing the peer reviews in 4-2 and 6-2. Look at me. I'm already getting assignments confused. It's the end of the term for me. Okay, for assignments, I don't want to make this class harder than it has to be for us. So for modules 1, 2, and 3, we are not writing a mini paper. Okay, I've got templates that we can use. But let's not write a paper. Let's just answer the prompts in the template and go on with our day. The 5-1 and the 7-1 part 2 are an essay, but don't worry about that we are weeks away from that. The 3-1 and the 7-1 part 1, 7-1 part 1, yes, are short answer, where it means just a few sentences. I'm not looking for multiple paragraphs with a clear argument and different paragraph structures. I go in the announcement, I talk about how an essay contains a clear introduction with the thesis, body paragraphs, a conclusion, a reference page. The short answer is just a few answers to the prompt questions, though. And yes, while we're talking about assignments, I know ratemyprofessor.com says that I am a harsh grader, and I look at every little thing, because writing is a big deal to me, not just because I have a background in writing, but I know how important it is for your future academic careers. I know how important it is in your professional life. So I'm going to grade you a bit more harshly than you would probably like in order to make sure we understand, hello cat, everything that the that part of the process wants us to understand. This is my cat Duck. As you can see, he is a very great teaching assistant for the moment. So he will be joining us maybe on some of the videos. I can't remember if he does or not, but when he does, he tries to be a good kitty. So when it comes to citations, again, I'm a librarian. Citations are extremely important, but I don't get picky until the 7-1 final project, okay? And I'm going to give you great feedback throughout the entire time on how we can improve our citations, okay? And the great news is the library videos I have in week 1, I believe that's a 1.3 announcement on a Friday, I actually show you where you can find the citations in EBSCO, ProQuest, and Gale, okay? That's the 3 top library database vendors. That's awesome. You can just not even worry about the citations. Just copy, paste them, and make sure the formatting came with us, okay? So the next thing is AI grammar tools. Now I'm going to have another video about AI, but to me there's a huge difference in having AI correct your grammar and spelling and having AI do your work. You are always going to have someone, whether it's a software or an actual human being, look over. You're always going to have the ability to have someone look over your writing. Okay, so yes, by all means, use Grammarly, use another AI grammar tool. I'm pretty sure at this point, even Google's document and Microsoft Word uses AI in their grammar stuff. So don't worry about that. I am not taking off for that at all. Okay, you can even use the grammar tools to make yourself sound smarter. Okay, that's fine. Again, you're always going to have someone there with you, either a software or a person, to help you with those writing stuff. So it's no big deal. And before you ask, no, I do not use AI in my responses. I do have a response bank, which is a big document with a lot of just general feedback on common errors I have seen over the years of teaching, both here at SNHU and in previous institutions and tutoring. I don't want to write out 20 different times a term. Please use a hanging indent for your citations. Okay, so I copy and paste it, and it might come across as a little AI, but I promise it's not. I have a background in writing. By the time I've opened up ChatGPT, put in what I want to say, or the prompt that I want answered, and then correct it to make it sound like me, I could do it quicker. And it uses a whole lot less energy and power. Okay, so yeah, I don't use AI. Let's not use AI to create our assignments. Let's use it to do the grammar stuff. Okay, when it comes to the big assignments, my goal is to have the big ones graded by Wednesday. I will do my best to get that done, but life happens. And I cannot guarantee that every week. Okay? I mean, hello, I have grading help. And sometimes grading is fun with a cat sitting right here. Okay? I do the discussion boards. If I only have 10 minutes and I want to just knock something out real quick, so you may see a discussion board being graded before your big assignment, and that's what's happened. I didn't have the 30 minutes or so to grade your big assignment, so I went ahead and graded your discussion board. Okay, turnitin.com. Apparently that's another big one that people really freak out about on the Reddits. I don't know, I'm not on Reddit, but a friend of mine told me that they were really freaked out over it. If your Turnitin score is over 49%, I am going to look to see what's going on. Okay, if you're using a template, obviously a lot of it's going to be already flagged in the system. That's fine. Citations get flagged. Common phrases for your topic are going to get flagged, and it's fine. So don't immediately freak out that something you've submitted has a high score like 60. I'm going to go through it. I'm going to see, oh, it's the template, it's the citations. Yes, this phrase got flagged. We're good. Okay? I hope that really helps give you some peace of mind. And, okay, the last thing I'm going to have to add to my announcement is zeros as placeholders. If you have turned in your assignment and I've put a 0 in it on whenever I get to it, probably Monday, and you think that's not right, okay, it's probably a placeholder. Sometimes we accidentally upload our, what have I seen? Someone uploaded their coding. I've seen someone upload their history. What is that? That IDS class. It happens. Okay, I'm going to flag it. I'm going to email you and I'm going to write it as a 0 because we don't always check our emails, but we all see that 0 and we all go, wait, what happened? In our final project, if you upload 2 documents instead of 1, I'm going to flag it as a 0. You're going to see it. You're going to get my email. It's just there until you resubmit it, okay? Depends on the circumstance, depends on whether or not I count it late or not. If you've uploaded your, I'm just going to say, ethics class assignment the Wednesday after it was due, it's late. Okay, I'm going to give you 48 hours to resubmit, but it's still late. If you accidentally uploaded your history on Saturday and you didn't get my email on Sunday that you accidentally uploaded stuff, the wrong class, no, it's not late. You meant to upload it correct at the correct time. I mean, say if you keep doing it, we're going to have a conversation. Okay? So that is what I have about grades. If you have other questions, please let me know. Yeah, and also try to read the actual post if you can. There's a lot of details that I probably overlooked because, help. But we're going to have a great class this term, okay? I'll talk to you later. Bye.